Hello and welcome to Weebanomics. This is Kyrie Lunas at KyrieLunas on Twitter.com, and these are my co-hosts.
This is Smug at Smug Home Slice on Twitter.com. It's good to be back.
This is Goblin Slayer, and I'm here to goblinate the goblins! Tell me, where are the goblins?
Goblins!
I found the bank! Lead me to the goblins! I fucking hate goblins!
And today we will be talking about Goblin Slayer, unsurprisingly.
In case you haven't noticed.
There's a goblin there? I need to goblinate it.
That's the whole show.
With my goblinator!
This is literally just the plot synopsis now.
Yeah.
I fucking hate goblins with every fiber of my being.
That's pretty much all that happens. That's pretty cool,
Yeah.
though.
It's also rape, too. Can't forget that.
Yeah, the goblins rape people, so if you're afraid of content like that, just avoid this show. They try to rape a lot of people.
It's no use trying to put me on the goblin side. I already hate them enough.
That was the one shot. One shot we had.
So what do y'all think about Goblin Slayer?
It was fun and violent, and shockingly, I know several people who, never mind. Y'all say what you were saying. I'm too tired for this.
It's a pretty wholesome anime.
It honestly kinda is, but not in the way you expect.
Goblins.
Goblins.
Except for the goblins, it's actually sweet.
The goblins are exactly how you think,
Yeah.
always subverting society and trying to destroy it and everything like that for their own gain.
Yeah.
Well, it's hilarious that at one point the goblins are trying to refine metal. That was a hilarious plot point, not gonna lie. I actually can't wait to see next season or anything. I just want to see what else the goblins do.
Wait, is there a next season?
It's going to soon. Not yet.
Oh.
It's coming out though.
Oh, okay.
Man, Goblin Slayer is so fucking good. I loved it. If only it didn't have the weird CGI cuts all the time. It's only on Goblin Slayer.
It's just so weird. Like half the time they just animate him in full CG for no reason.
There's
no one else.
There's one scene. There's a total of one scene. I'm like, all right, I will give that a pass because that is painfully hard to actually, draw and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that one scene alone is the one where he's surrounded by fucking goblins. And he is charging in, and it's looking at his face, and it stops everything midair. And then it does a circle around him, so it's panning all around him while everything's paused, and then goes behind him, and then plays, and then he started a fight. And it's because that's pretty fucking hard to do.
Yeah. I don't know. At times it just reminds me of Berserk 2016, of just how weird the juxtaposition between the CG and 2D drawn stuff is sometimes. But unlike Berserk 2016, it's not all CG, and it doesn't fucking ruin the entire show because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only a bit of it.
Yeah. And it's only on one character, mostly.
I just think Goblin Slayer didn't go far enough. I really enjoyed Goblin Slayer, but it's just what's it called?
Didn't go far enough.
Yeah.
In episode 2, he
But-
creates a fucking gas chamber for goblins.
I love it.
Get their build.
I love it. They literally just told them, it's like, fucking go in the gas chamber. You're done, goblins. We like and everything like that, and then went and cremated like a whole bunch of bodies. Everything, you know, took quite a few hours, but he did it all with one oven. Man, I wonder how.
Must be efficient.
I wonder how many he could do with one oven, and how long it would take.
I'm sure if he wanted to, he could kill over 6 million.
No, I knew you were gonna go there.
Yeah, of course he did.
It's only a matter of time till we got to 6 million.
Takes a while.
Takes a while.
Pull out a calculator.
Oh god.
Oh man. So what's it called? Goblin Slayer. What do y'all think of it? What like, is there any like scenes that stood out to y'all? By the way, we're talking about the movie in a separate part. We'll have that to be its own part.
Okay.
Not like its own podcast, but own section. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, I liked the part where he was giving advice to the kids and he was like, beat them with a stick. I love that part. And then he goes and beats the shit out of a cockroach with a stick. I don't know why, but I just like that part.
I just like the rape.
Yeah, Smug, so the entire time when Smug was watching this with us, he was like, man, I wish I was me. Yeah. Yeah, you just go like being, I wish that was me the entire time. Ugh. But as far as we know, Smug, there's no such thing as a gay goblin.
No, not yet.
Only good goblin.
Yeah.
He's a gay one. Or
Only good goblin is a dead one or a gay one.
So there's two
Only
good
one.
goblins.
Yeah.
Only one is known to exist. The other one is a myth.
I suppose there is a chance that there is a good goblin, but the only good goblin is one that doesn't come out of their stinking holes. And then he just goes and beats children. And then he kills goblin children.
Just
Oh, the
based.
children.
Killing children is like the best thing you could do.
He goblinated. God, I do love the fucking abridged. Did any of y'all watch the abridged when I told
Did
you
not
about?
watch the abridged.
No. I did
Oh
not.
God, fucking damn it! The abridged is also hilarious because the abridged is also one of my favorite scenes of Goblin Slayer. What's it called? In the abridged specifically is when they were trying to get advice on how to kill the rat. Oh man, you remember the scene with the rats and whatnot, right? And when it went up to Goblin Slayer, so they actually didn't change it too terribly much, but they did make him even more autistic because that's the only thing you could do in that scene. Because he was like this, Goblin Slayer, yes, that's me, and everything like that. And it's like, we have a question on how to kill a goblin, you see. And it's like, it's not a goblin. And then he just goes back to his freaking table and just ignores him. I mean, yes, goblin. Ah, yes. And then what's it called? He pretty much goes, it's like, oh, goblins are tricky. They will use what's it called? They will use swords. And it's like, oh no, this goblin doesn't use like a sword or anything, and they're like on all fours. How do we crush it? Ah, one of those stupid rat kind of goblins, I see. Those tricky bastards. It just keeps going, and like like no matter what you say to him, he wouldn't do it. And I honestly feel the only reason that scene happens in the abridged is because of an actual scene inside the show. And this I really love is quest giver girl. She is there, you know, and she's like, Goblin Slayer, and it's like, yes, I have a request for you. Is it goblins? No. And then he starts walking away. Does it have to be goblins? Like, literally, he just pretty much ignored anything that wasn't goblin related. It's so
honestly great because there's like also like a scene. I forget what episode it is, where it's just like, I forget what exactly he was talking about, but he basically admits that except when it comes to slaying goblins, I'm basically kind of fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think is honestly like hilarious.
He devoted his entire life to killing goblins, which that is a very noble dream. Very few people could say that.
True.
None have succeeded, though. Sadly.
And wiping out the goblins, yet. You need to read the light novel.
I don't read light novels.
I can't read.
You don't read at all, Smug. Shut the fuck up.
I can't
I don't
read.
want to read your. It's because I don't want to read your shitty visual novels. Doesn't mean I can't
I will
read.
kill you. I will fucking kill you for talking about Umuneko like that. I will kill you. I'm pretty sure we got.
Umuneko, isn't that like 20-something hours?
No, it's like 100-something hours.
Oh my god, even worse.
Oh my gosh.
I would get into a situation, but that would distract way too much for the podcast.
Could save that for another time.
Mm-hmm. The Higurashi podcast.
Oh,
The
God.
Higurashi we should watch the fucking Umineko anime so we can talk about how shitty it is.
No, only the podcast.
we should watch this Tsukihime anime so that we can talk about how it doesn't exist.
Yeah. All right. So back to
Back on
Goblin
topic.
Slayer.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really fucking okay. So what's your like favorite scene, Smug?
What is actually my favorite scene?
They pretty much just blend together. There's just a lot of goblins killing.
Fuck that. No.
Okay, not gonna lie, I did like a lot of the interactions between a Goblin Slayer and the Sword Maiden.
I gave her my sword, but goblins did already.
Oh shit! I just remembered Gusty wanted to be on to talk about that.
Oh, Gusty. Oh fuck.
Welcome back to Weebanomics.
You didn't have to do that.
Didn't need to do that. We were just gonna.
Yeah, I was just gonna splice it together.
We can edit that. We can edit that little bit out.
But I'm keeping this part in now.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, we're back through technical issues.
Yes.
Anyway, so since Gusty isn't here, I will try to explain what they wanted to talk about. They want to talk about the Sword Maiden section, which helped them face their own issues of going through traumatizing shit. Because, like, you know, the Sword Maiden stuff, it was a touching thing. Strongest woman in the world, brought down by simple goblins.
Goblins.
And forever horrified. You know, I don't know how to explain what Gusty wanted to say, but that's pretty much it.
If I was to take a guess, is how they're like on the top of the world. They can do anything. A lot of people believe in them. But the one thing that got them, the one thing that drove them down and everything, the one thing that gives them fear, is something so small and minuscule that most people overlook it and don't believe that it's actually much of a problem. But to them, it actually created a massive problem.
Yeah.
But I'm just taking a guess.
Yeah.
I think they explained it once and I completely forgot exactly what it was. Well, no, they explained Sword Maiden a bit, and I forgot.
Yeah.
They didn't explain to me like their actual thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
But yeah, I
I
do
will
find a lot of. Oh yeah, go on.
my favorite scene. All right, my favorite scene throughout Goblin Slayer is just all of episode 11. Episode 11 was like 10 out of 10 writing. Just from the moment it happened to, like, at the beginning all the way to the very end of it. You know what episode 11 is, right?
For the audience, refresh us a little bit.
Pretty much, you mean no, you don't.
Yes, because I am stupid and I forget.
Fucking cum brain. Kyrie, do you remember episode 11?
Yeah, it was the Goblin Army thing.
Wait, was
Close.
that the one where they got all of the adventurers?
Yes.
Yes, I do remember it. I'm not
Alright,
that
so-
stupid.
Debatable. But what's it called? I really fucking love it. To the point of him finding all the stuff and going to Cowgirl and having to say, sorry, you need to run. What? And then he's just like explaining the entire situation and what's going to happen to her and everything. And then she doesn't want to leave. She doesn't want to abandon it. She doesn't want him to go through with all of it. And she knows that if she runs, he is going to stay behind and take on the entire goblin army by himself. So, and he probably wouldn't win. And
No.
so, to get around that, she says she's staying there. Why is she saying she's staying there? Because it forces him to come up with an avenue for him to win so that he can live and keep her happy while also protecting her and kill the entire Goblin army. Which is, when he came down to it, it got him to do one thing, which it explained that last time when he came and begged for, what's it called? Someone to save their village, he put up the flyer and no one came. No one saved his place from a goblin army. It was invaded and destroyed. So this time, instead of putting up a flyer and an actual job, he goes and just yells out to the entire guild that pretty much, I'm only a silver rank. I can't do this. An entire fleet of goblins are coming. What's it called? I know it's asking a lot and everything like that. I'm begging people to help. And then he's like, oh, this is a guild. If you want it, put up a request and whatnot. And she's like, oh, I didn't come here empty-handed. Huh? What are you going to give? Everything. And it was just like at that moment, and it's like the behemoth of a man, the person who is protecting like everyone from goblins. Like, it's such a shit job that no one does it. But it is actually probably one of the most helpful jobs there is there, aside from, the actual like high level jobs. But it is like it goes and it saves many people. It makes a lot of villages like able to function is that he is out there always killing the goblins. And so, what's it called? He's just there, humbled, pretty much saying he can't do it, showing up as like an almost broken man. Like, this is like the fucking Doom guy going in there, and then all of a sudden, he's like begging for help because he can't do it. It's like the lowest point of this guy that he can get. Like, it completely goes, and he's shown that he's out of options. This is like his last stitch option. If this doesn't happen, he's going to go fight it alone and die. And it's like so fucking touching to see and everything like that. Like, it gets to me every single time. It's so hyper emotional and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, what's it called? It's so great. And then eventually they're like, we'll do it. And then, what's it called? It flashes and tells people why they're actually... Like, they pretty much all agree to to do it for a drink and whatnot. But it actually tells them the real reasons they're doing it. And that's because... And that's because Goblin Slayer is like, what's it called? Him doing the things he does has saved all of them. Like, it has saved like some of their hometowns. It has saved some of them personally. It has saved like some of their family. It has saved like everyone like thinks back to like all the stuff that Goblin Slayer's done, and he's done it completely 100% of his own volition, and no one asking him besides, the obvious flyer, so that he gets their location and everything like that. And he just goes out bloodthirsty and fucking kills goblins. And everyone's just so touched by like everything he's done for all of them, and asked absolutely nothing in return, that he gets the entire guild there to help. Not like he was like expecting like a few good people to fight it off, but no, he gets the entire guild there, and they do it with only like 3 or 4 casualties.
Yeah.
And those 3 or 4 casualties is like, what's it called? It kind of is a bit of their mistake, to be fair, of them not paying attention. But they did, that did happen. But then the guild girl comes out and motivates everyone. 1 gold piece per goblin. So a lot of people come and go and be like, all right, time to fucking go. So Goblin Slayer, everyone just is remembering everything he's done for them, and goes out and will happily risk their lives fighting by his side because of all the things he's done. And it's like, that was just absolutely fucking amazing. I love that episode, start to fucking finish. To me, that was like by far the best episode.
Well, I have a hard time disagreeing that it's it is definitely probably the best episode. I think, like, overall. So it was a very good moment.
Yeah. It's really, really hard to disagree with.
Yeah. you just spitting facts right now.
Yeah, that reminds me of the final episode, where it's like the hero girl or whatever. Like, she
Priestess?
even says no, the hero.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, the one where it's like,
Yeah.
so we're only able to be out here partying or whatever because of him. You know, I love that scene too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty much what's it called? He saves society pretty much. Just all of it. Like it doesn't, like, people don't realize just how much he is doing for like the entirety of society.
Yeah.
By killing the lowly goblins.
I agree. If you just destroy all the goblins, society instantly gets better.
Yeah.
True.
It's how to fix society, just kill all the goblins.
Genocide really is the answer to everything.
Yep.
So true.
Oh man. There's a lot of other scenes I really love. Probably the one that made me laugh the most is just Goblin Slayer being so fucking stupid and autistic. And it's just funny. He goes and they all kill all the goblins and everything. Boom. And then the troll god comes down and does his fireball, and then does it, and he's like, "Is that the big goblin? What kind of goblin are you?" I'm just laughing the entire time, and then he's like getting pissed to be compared with lowly goblins, and he's just like, they're fighting and everything, and it's like, oh. Looks like I'm going to have to use that. Because he's about to kill all of them. Priestess barely blocked the last one and whatnot. And there's no way she's going to be able to block another. And he's like, alright. Pulls out the scroll. And it's like, I can't believe you made me use that. And the scroll was connected to the bottom of the ocean. So everything got... like expelled all at once as like a high pressured water cannon almost, and cut this troll lord up. And because he had a healing factor, that's what was causing them like so much trouble. He had to do so much damage that it went past his healing factor and made him pretty much useless so that he could kill him. And all the way to the end, Goblin Slayer was like, what are you again? It doesn't matter. I was saving that for something way worse than you. What? A goblin? You would use that for a mere goblin? And then just kills him, pretty much saying, it's like, mere, yet they're far worse. Something along those lines. He's pretty much saying that he's below a goblin. Oh man, it is
just throwing all the shade.
Yeah, it's just like the entire time this fucking troll lord is just being insulted by being called a goblin and everything. Oh man, it's just so fucking funny. Man. So I found that scene to be absolutely hilarious, like start to finish, because they started off him not fucking knowing and ended out still not fucking knowing.
Not knowing.
Oh man. Any other scenes? Any other scenes? Oh, sorry. I'll let you.
Oh, it's all good. It's not like any real specific scenes, I guess, but I do just like how like I guess sort of creative he is whenever it comes to like killing goblins, and how he just like explains to the rest of his party members how like exactly he wants shit to be done. Mm-hmm. And it just seems like the weirdest stuff he does. I mean, I remember specifically. Well, this is I guess I'll mention it in the when we talk about the movie. But there's a scene in that kind of just really like that just like really comes to my head with just like how like sort of ingenious Goblin Slayer is whenever it comes to killing goblins.
Oh yeah, he is okay. So I find, so if we're talking about ingenious about how he does it, my favorite thing is the restrictions. So they're like, you can't go and use fire. Oh, okay. You can't go and poison the water as well. It's like, but that's what the goblins use. You can't! You're gonna poison the entire town! Oh, okay. And then so no fire,
No fire,
and
no
no poison.
Wasn't it like no explosions too? Or
Later.
something?
Later, because he brings flour,
Yeah.
and creates a flour bomb. It's like, you can't use explosions. Oh my god, it's so fucking funny because the amount of restrictions just keep getting added.
This keeps getting piled.
And then she just like, I think doesn't she like just hit Goblin Slayer for like being too autistic?
I think so.
Yeah, it's like I think I remember the elf girl just going up and hitting him for being a smartass about all of it. But the thing is, he truly doesn't see what's wrong. Like, he doesn't understand why they're putting on the restrictions. That's literally it. He's like, oh, okay, I won't do that. But he doesn't understand the why, and because of that, he's doing what they didn't want, but without even realizing it. Because his whole thing is purely on the goblins. Oh man.
Doesn't think about anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't if we were in Slime Isekai.
True.
I'm just,
Doesn't matter how many civilian casualties there are. All that matters is that you kill the goblins.
it's worth it in the end.
Necessary casualties.
There's no such thing as unnecessary casualties. Oh yeah, unless there. Oh yeah, the Goblin Slayer is just the original Shradcath.
He is.
Literally, all he wants to do is live at peace on a farm with his big titty cowgirl.
Big titty Trad GF.
Yeah.
But he can't, because he has to
kill goblins.
He has to kill all the goblins of society.
It literally is the original Shradcath.
He's our guy. Our protagonist.
Yeah. I relate to that so much. Big titty GF and everything like that. Just wants to be left alone, but he can't.
The OG libertarian too.
Mm-hmm.
The OG libertarian Shradcath.
I kind of wonder what would actually happen if he got to the point that all goblins died. It's like, would he actually stop like 100%, or?
Well,
he'd have to find a way to go to the moon to double check for himself. He wouldn't believe it until he checked every corner of the world. All worlds for goblins.
Then he goes on. It then turns into a sci-fi series where he goes on an intergalactic genocide against goblins.
Yeah, I was thinking like, because there's three ways I could see it go. All right, one way is the obvious: he's done, and he finally gets to try to live a normal life and learn other skills and everything like that with his trad wife, big titty cowgirl, and just live on the farm. And it's like, I could see that ending. The next ending I could see is, the obvious, he's in disbelief, and the rest of his life is him searching the globe and everything for more goblins. and he spends his entire life trying to find any goblins or anything like that.
He can't stop fighting until all the goblins have died.
It's like, that is a like, when we're talking about Goblin Slayer, I honestly think that would be the realistic thing.
Probably.
Is that even if he killed every goblin out there, he's going to keep searching to make sure they're all dead. The last thing I could see is him finally, what's it called? Him kind of just losing purpose.
Yeah.
He probably feel defeated after he defeated all of them.
Or maybe not defeated, but more just like, kind of like...
Well, more of like, he doesn't have anything to do anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of just like an anticlimactic end for him.
Yeah.
Because he has nothing more to really do.
Or maybe he, what's it called? Oh, now I remember what I was gonna say. It's like he might just shift his focus to something else that, could be, somewhat as bad.
Yeah.
And try to not and try to cleanse all of them out. I don't think he would be like, going on high level adventures or something like that. He'd probably still stick to like stupid stuff, but stuff that are still useful. Like, goblins, pretty big. I guess sewer rats, sewer cockroaches.
Yeah, I like the low level stuff that no one cares about.
Yeah,
but then
I don't know. I feel like I would have to know their world a little more for me to give a concrete answer. Maybe what's it called? Maybe trolls. Actually, I think it would be trolls, because if trolls are, like as the one we've seen, as evil, and they try to conquer goblins to keep going and everything like that, and have goblin armies, I think trolls would be, up there right after it, and his logic would be, trolls used goblins. Now I gotta defeat these trolls that are just pseudo goblins. Something like that. Who knows? I could also see him shifting his focus, hyper autism focus and whatnot. Next would be Troll Slayer.
Something else.
Yeah. He will always have a fixation.
Yeah.
I love Goblin Slayer.
I did too.
Me too. That's great. Although apparently, Stonk says that all the borderline rape scenes were cut out on Crunchyroll. I don't believe that.
Well, it both
I'm not gonna go watch.
It both would and wouldn't surprise me, but I'm never gonna use Crunchyroll, so I guess I don't really care.
I'd believe it.
Yeah.
Because
don't use Crunchyroll.
Yeah, I believe it because I remember there being like a huge outcry about it. Not that them cutting it, but rather just Goblin Slayer in general. And a lot of it had to do with Crunchyroll. Well, yeah, that, but it was like Crunchyroll. The synopsis did not hint that this is what it was going to be like. There was no warning, just absolutely nothing to lead viewers into thinking it was that. And I think at the time it was rated PG or something like that.
Oh god.
Oh no.
It was either PG or PG-13 or something like that. I don't remember. It was rated a lot lower, and they rated it higher after the pushback. Yeah, it was a big fucking controversy, and then Goblin Slayer became the most viewed anime. Of that year.
What controversy does to a series. But unlike most other of those like controversial series, I can actually say that Goblin Slayer was like genuinely good.
Shoko Tensei was good too. Shut up.
Would
Yeah.
that be? Yeah, well, I guess it probably was. So yeah.
I kind of hate the narrative around Goblin Slayer. Is what's it called? So when Goblin Slayer was coming out and everything, a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's nothing more than just some edgy gore fest thing that people are going to forget about the moment it's done." And it's like, I kind of hate that because Goblin Slayer is legitimately fucking amazing.
It is,
Real.
yeah.
Because a lot of people just kept saying that, and it what's it called? It was, and you know, usually comes from people that hated episode 1.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So they usually just can't see why a show is actually good, and I just like, ugh.
Or they just don't even watch it and just like, make presumptions about it.
Or they just didn't have their big boy pants before before watching it.
Maybe.
My vote's on the big boy pants. Is there any other scenes y'all want to talk about in the show?
Let's see.
I do like that he like choked that goblin out with like that hair and whatnot. That was pretty fucking cool.
Oh yeah, that was a good scene. Like everyone was they were all about to die, but then he was just like, no, and then he fucking
Freaking
choked them with a hair.
drinks the potions and gets ready, and then like he's so like bleeding and like almost dead, and he just does that, and he defeats their like champion, and like all the other goblins, even though Goblin Slayer's about to pass out and die, all the other goblins run the fuck away from him because they're all scared that in his state of almost being dead, he bested their champion. And it's like, look, he was almost dead before he bested him. I'm not going near that. I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
It is, honestly.
I loved almost everything about Goblin Slayer. There's a little bit I dislike. It goes down a bit. Because what's it called? Episode 1 is perfect. Episode 11's perfect. Episode 10's like almost perfect. And whatnot. So it starts out really good. Has an okay-ish middle. And then ends really fucking strong.
Yeah.
I have to agree.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about in the show?
Not in the show, but I think it's that time we move to the movie then.
All right, we can
do
move
have
to the
do Best
movie.
Girls? Okay.
Fuck the movie.
The movie. It was. What's the point of the movie? It was like.
It was literally just a longer episode, basically.
Yeah.
With like, yeah. I mean, I didn't even like. I don't know. I didn't even think it was necessarily bad, but it's just kind of like, why? Why is this a thing? Like, why did this need to be made a movie?
Show that the goblins have paladins or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I hated her.
That character.
The
that
new
bitch.
female fucking character that came from, like, I absolutely hate her because she is what's it called? She's the exact example of born with a silver spoon in her mouth and everything like that. And just entitled. Holy shit. She goes to kill the goblins, thinks she's so fucking smart and everything like that. What's it called? And then they devise a plan to do it. It is amazing just to see. And what they do is they go and they try to starve the goblins out, which, by the way, if you're going to do that, you better bring enough equipment and everything for like a really, really long time. Because for one, goblins are ruthless. I would bet you anything, if the goblins actually did run out of food, they would have started eating each other to try to beat you. I'm like, I could almost guarantee you that is why they could outlast them. I was pretty much saying that if one goes, they should have all went. I was like, no, I already know that what's going to happen. Because what's it called? Their entire team's composition and why they could fight is 100% dependent. For one, she was their strongest player that went to go do it, by the way. So that's like a really like bad thing that they sent her to go get it, because she was the strongest one there. But two, their entire team fighting style is all dependent on everyone working together. So like, just like even from a logistical standpoint, if one person goes, they should all go. And that pretty much means it's their loss. That just means they have to think of a new strategy and win. But the why I hate this girl so fucking much isn't even that. Just that. What's it called? It's the idea that she did all this, planning all these things and all whatnot, and everything. And then goes and she got all of her people killed. I'm not going to blame her for that. Well, I mean, yeah, I am. But I'm not going to blame her, like, so much to the point that she's irredeemable. But then, later on, she found out, hey, she's not as smart as she thinks she is. She's not as strong as she thinks she is. She's not as, like, everything as she thinks she is. Alright. Now Goblin Slayer comes and saves their ass. And because of that, she shows her devotion towards it by cutting her hair, as if that's a devotion and whatnot. But
it's the standard anime
yeah, I know.
Joke.
Yeah.
Cutting your hair is about show development.
Like I understand why, but in actuality I don't think it really is. But what's it called? What I'm saying is what's it called? There's just a lot of things that I see inside there. It's so because what's it called? She now goes and is like there and is like, all right, I'm part of the team, and then loses her shit the moment she is released and fucking kills the goblin like on sight and whatnot, and ruins the entire plan and whatnot. It's like, okay, you just ruined the entire plan, which, by the way, they were going to have the Goblin Paladin come out if she didn't kill that person. So they would have actually been able to have finished the entire, like, arc. So in season 2, they're probably going to go after a Goblin Paladin. Alright, so, okay, she fucked up twice. She should probably, listen to them and not do anything, because she's screwing up all the plans. No, she's still acting spoiled, bratty, and everything like that, even after all of that, and can't trust them, can't follow instructions, can't do anything. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? And then all the way, even to the end, she's giving off like, I am strong and everything like that. All until Goblin Slayer finally gets her fucking sword back, and she breaks down crying and is like, thanks, you gave me back the legendary sword that could pretty much be worth an entire village. I'm taking it back to home and never using it, and never gonna be a venturer again. I'm just like, she's a fucking bitch. Just a royal fucking spoiled fucking brat. I understand why she wants it, because it's symbolic and everything. She's going to remember her teammates and everything like that from all of that. But I really just hate her.
Don't blame you.
Like, everything about that fucking bitch. I just really hate her because she doesn't learn anything. Every single time. And all even at the very end, Goblin Slayer doesn't care that she doesn't learn anything. He gives her stuff back because he's probably never meeting her again and everything like that. It's like, even to the very end, she's just spoiled back.
What else is there to talk about other than the movie being just kind of there? I didn't like it. It was fun though.
What do y'all think? What else did you think of the movie? Because I pretty much just talked about just her.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Welcome back. What do you think of the movie? Aside from what I talked about.
I mean,
I like the part where Goblin Slayer figured out that they were trying to refine metal, and I was like, that's not something goblins do. I hate goblins so much. Why do they keep evolving?
Freaking smug wanting a goblin paladin.
For real. I mean, the movie to me was just kind of, it was like just kind of fine.
I mean, as far as it goes for like the main cast is like on point and everything like that. And what's it called? The fights are decently well done. And the amount of planning is insane. It's pretty funny. I love it. But Goblin Slayer has always had a lot of fucking planning. Like, a lot of people probably don't give him enough credit because a lot of people, when they watch this and talk about Goblin Slayer, they pretty much say Goblin Slayer's an idiot and whatnot. But it's like, he is like masterful as a fucking tactician, like strategizing and everything like that. He's absolutely insane with how much he can plan out and do. As like, it's
just like
good.
Stuff that you wouldn't even like think about, and sometimes it seemed kind of just like kind of absurd with what he does.
Yeah.
I remember from the very beginning, he was planning for the entire. He planned something for the entire. The movie. My favorite part was how he planned out at the very beginning. He planned out the whole mountain just being completely destroyed.
All right, so
planned that out.
He didn't.
He didn't.
So so what's it called? From what I saw is that he did and didn't. He didn't plan for that to happen. He planned that as a backup in case if it happens that way. So what's it called? His original plan didn't work, so they went with that plan and completely went and did it. And his original plan, was to like sneak in to fight the Goblin Paladin and all that shit and kill it there and whatnot. And it's like, it's all cool. But I think his coming up with the plan, like backups and everything, to completely wipe them out with an avalanche is hilarious.
He was.
But yeah, it's kind of really all. I don't know. I guess I don't really have much to say about the movie other than that it's just kind of like fine.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And the cute moments with what's her face.
Which one?
The priest girl. I forget her name. Priestess. Yeah.
Priestess.
Oh yeah. None of them have names. Priestess and Goblin Slayer are cute together. I love them.
I just realized we haven't mentioned any of the other cast except for like Goblin Slayer and the Sword Maiden.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, so the other cast is all good, but I just had so much to say about Goblin Slayer. Goblin Slayer eclipses everyone else.
Exactly. He's peak character writing.
He really is. It's like
he alone is peak fiction.
He's so simple and at the same time complex.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So, what characters aside from Goblin Slayer do y'all like?
Elf girl.
Yes.
You just wanna fuck the elf girl, don't ya?
Yes.
Oh, she is cute. I won't deny that.
Freaking typical
But
tsundere. Yeah. Man, what's it called?
yeah. I guess we don't really have much to say about the other characters.
I do find it funny how they all come together to like share foods from their country and whatnot. He's like, oh, there's the cheese, and what's it called? It all all those foods and whatnot just go together. You know, meat with cheese and crackers and wine. That is a full fucking meal. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
It's just missing some greens, but besides that, that's a pretty fucking good meal. I would just completely I'd love to eat that, man. But the idea is like none of them knew of like each other's like foods and whatnot, and so would they all?
Oh yeah, go on.
So when they all bring it together, everyone's trying shit for the first time, and I was like, damn. Like hearing the like how strong and potent the dwarves freaking liquor is, I want to try it. Holy shit. Oh man, I really want to try it.
Yeah. I remember them. I remember the scene where like they all of them well, one priestess, and then eventually the rest of the other cast tries ice cream for the first time.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny. That's pretty cute.
You think Goblin Slayer is gonna try to turn goblins into frozen ice cream things? Because he was writing it down and jotting it and noting it as if what's it called, he wanted to. He did say he wanted to make it at the place, but I have a feeling he's gonna try to use that to kill goblins somehow. Like him making the ice cream is just practice for when he makes the goblin cream.
It's gonna cream the goblins. Oh god, that sounds wrong.
Smugwood.
For reals.
I don't think if I was put into the situation I would have like, you know,
a say.
Any say in the matter.
Thank God there are no gay goblins.
Not yet, anyway. I'm sure there was goblin femboys. We just like the worst.
Oh man, so when it comes down to it, I think it's what's it called? I really like it, and everything like that. Let's see, Sword Maiden, pretty interesting. It's pretty high up there. I find the fucking giant lizard guy to be funny, like really fucking funny.
He's really funny.
It's literally just a Native American. Like, unironically, he's just a Native American. Which I love the abridged just plays on that trope a lot more. Oh, man. It makes me laugh, all the things they do. And, you know, Goblin Slayer, he's so addicted to killing goblins and everything like that, that he finds a priceless fucking mirror. This mirror could be used to buy villages upon villages. It bring riches to everyone. But he's like, oh, this is too powerful. Destroys it and hides it. And reasoning is, if goblins ever found it, it would be too strong. So, what's it called? I have a feeling that if society kept getting more and more advanced, I think Goblin Slayer would actually be opposed to that. Because if it got like so advanced that goblins started using it, it would be a problem. Yeah, so I think Goblin Slayer would actually, unironically, be, you know, against society's progression as long as it curbs goblins' progression.
Become an eco-terrorist against goblins. But yeah, that is interesting.
But yeah, Elf Girl's cute. All right, so yeah, the duality between the Elf Girl and the dwarf is just funny. Always
it's
fighting.
very good. Yeah,
they like hate each other, but at the same time don't.
yeah. The entire group has a very good like dynamic with each other, which is really like what you want in a sort of cast like that.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for season 2 of Goblin Slayer.
I'm excited for it too.
Alright, so we talked a lot. And I mean a lot. But now is time for the most famous, and some say infamous, part of the show. You get to...
Elf Girl is hottest.
What?
Elf Girl is hottest. Elf. Hottest. Priestess has the best personality, though, because she gets the most development.
True. And Priestess is also cute.
What do you say, Smug?
Alright, so for guys, I'm gonna go Goblin Slayer for both. Naturally.
I thought you were going to say something like the Goblin Lord.
No, fuck that. No.
You would fuck that.
I wouldn't have
You
the
can't even
choice,
deny it.
I don't want to have like a fucking. See, I wouldn't mind it if I didn't have to fucking give birth to the fucking offspring afterwards.
Well, I'm pretty sure that men can't give birth, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Don't you know that boy preggers is a thing?
No, boy preggers is not a thing. Don't get
It is
that
a
shit
thing.
out of here.
You can deny it all you want, doesn't mean it's not true. But for girls, I'm gonna go the same as Carrie. Though, actually, hold on. For personality, I'm gonna do okay. Looks, I'm gonna do Priestess. Personality, I'll go with Cowgirl. Because they do like my Tradcat GFs.
Personality, I'm going Cowgirl all the way.
Based.
Looks, I feel, is actually a really hard one for me. Because, like, it's like a 4-way tie for me. For looks. Mojo, which is that seductive, slow-talking wizard.
Oh my fucking god.
She talks just a little too slow.
Slow, yeah.
Second would be Cowgirl. Third would be the girl at the front desk. And fourth would be the Sword Maiden. It's like all 4 of those I feel is like in like a 4-way tie.
I wouldn't mind Sword Maiden if she took off the fucking blindfold.
I don't mind my girls being blindfolded.
I don't know. It's the same reason I don't move like 2B from the Automata. Just looks weird blindfolded.
I thought it's because you're gay.
Well, I don't like 9S either, so.
Hopefully you don't.
It's been a hot minute since I played Nier.
But yeah.
But, yeah.
To me, I don't know. That's like a really hard choice for me of which one is like the best of them. I think I would have to go with Cowgirl for both looks and personality.
Good choice.
It really is a hard choice, but I'll have to make it. So, about episode 1. What's it called? I actually really like episode 1 a lot.
Me too.
Because you know exactly what that first group was, right?
I don't know.
It's literally your average, like anime that goes out that could be like the shonen, like have their own story and everything. It literally is.
It's Black Clover.
Yeah, like the main character is a guy who defies all odds, who's a little bad, but they went and became strong as hell. The girl is a girl who trained all of her life and whatnot, and that guy, main character, beat her in a fight, and now they're on a team, and she secretly likes him. The wizard is the top wizard of her class, and got stuck into a group with her. And then Priestess is just, like the average priest that didn't know what to do, and they're there to take her under her wing. Like that is like every generic fucking thing. So it's like them going through all of that in episode 1 and whatnot is like, this isn't your it's pretty much saying this isn't your generic one. It's like there's you could tell a lot about those characters and whatnot just from like their introduction, despite having like such a small introduction. They actually jam it with a lot of information. Like, the more I think about it. Because at first I thought it was like, yeah, they didn't get much and whatnot, not really needed. But the more I think about it, it's like, I think they jammed it with just as much that is needed. Like, all that is needed. Because you can, because like what they represent, what their personality was like, and also in the greater context of like a whole bunch of other fucking shows and whatnot. Like they were supposed to be the generic protag and everything like that. And then it was like, nah, this is Dark Souls, bitch. Goblin Slayer almost dies so many times, by the way.
Yeah.
So many times.
It pretty much shows that if Goblin Slayer stayed by himself, he would have died.
For sure.
Yeah.
He's just so lucky he found more people when he finally did. Of course, he said he would change his strategies to accommodate for that. But some of it just seems like, I don't know if he could. Like, just think of the Troll Lord situation. How would Goblin Slayer fight and kill all of those goblins and the Troll Lord? Like, I could see him fight and kill all the goblins. I could see him fight and kill the Troll Lord. I can't see him do both. Especially when he probably would have died from the Troll Lord. Because he didn't know what that explosion would have been like at first, and he was bracing for it. Is there anything else y'all really like about the show? I think it's amazing, though.
Everything. Just
It's all very good stuff.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. We basically just act out the entire show and talk about every single scene and be like, "Yeah, I like that. That was good."
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the very end. Goblin Slayer's true fucking goal was to have Priestess do a triple wall on the Goblin King and then or Goblin Lord and fucking kill him and whatnot. And with that, Goblin Slayer was going to finish him off and just let him die. And it did a flashback of that Goblin King's life, or Lord's life. And you see, he started out a measly little goblin, and someone took pity on him. And from that moment on, he bashed their skull in and raped them and kidnapped them and everything. All because they took pity on the goblin. And that leveled him up like a lot. So he went to the next thing and then the next thing. And he climbed his way all the way up until he met Goblin Slayer. And now he died. And it was just one of those things that Goblin Slayer's like... It's like pretty much saying something along the lines of your crocodile tears won't work on him. If it was anyone else, maybe. But it just kills him. It's like, and everything like that. He just pretty much says, fuck you, and just goes and kills him. Priestess only used 2 because she realized what Goblin Slayer's, what's it called? Idea was. She knew that Goblin Slayer was going to get like massively damaged, like critically damaged, and maybe die from it. So she did 2 instead of 3, like he asked. 3 was going to just make it for sure. And then use that 1 to heal him. It was pretty nice. It was a badass fight. Goblin Slayer wasn't going to win by himself, but Priestess out there taking the thing. And then the only thing they all asked in return, well, she asked in return, was to see his face. Which you mostly don't see it inside the show, but later on he actually does show it inside the novel or whatnot, the manga or whatever. The original source. So, season 2, I'm expecting to see his full face. Like, you mostly know what it is because it shows like 90% of his face. It's still a bit of a one of those things. I love the interaction between the spear guy and Goblin Slayer. When Goblin Slayer first went into the guild hall without a mask, and spear guy just thought he was a newbie and didn't know who he was. Like, Goblin Slayer was 100% interacting with everyone as if he was still wearing the suit of armor, but no one realized who he was. That was probably like one of the funniest things. Alright, well, I think that's about everything. What do y'all think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much about everything.
Alright, we had some good laughs and good times. I've been your co-host, the Unknown Otaku.
I have been your co-host, Smug, at smughomes on Twitter.com.
And I have been Kyrie Lunas at KyrieLunas on Twitter.com. And this has been Weebanomics. Join us next time for something.
What is that something?
I don't know. We're probably gonna fuck that up, so we can't even say what we're doing next for sure.
I know, like, I know what we have planned, but if we miss it again, we're gonna have to upload that backup thing.
We need to work on more backups. We're gonna miss a lot of things.
Yeah. Alright, well, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Always have your shield.